Ciao, in questo video vi parlerò di come io farò per apprendere l'italiano prima del mio viaggio in Italia. Hey guys, what's up? So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I'm going to be learning Italian before my trip to Italy, which is in 2 weeks. Let's get on with today's video. So a quick disclaimer, so for the people that don't know, I do already speak Italian. I have a very good base because I do take Italian at school. I am an Italian 3, which is the highest level. But I feel a little bit rusty and I want to feel a lot more comfortable for my trip and kind of feel comfortable in everyday situations. Because although I have access to Italian and I'm taking Italian every other day in school, we focus on things that I don't feel are going to be so useful, such as like grammar and like conditionals and like different verb tenses, as well as very specific situations that I'm most likely not going to find myself in during this trip, such as a job interview and having to buy a house. So do keep in mind that these exercises, I'm doing them because I already know a little bit of Italian, but I will give you guys kind of other type of alternative exercises to do in case you are a complete beginner. Okay, so the first thing I'll be doing is watching TV shows. So I love watching TV shows in my target language because I'm able to understand the flow of speaking and kind of understand and learn some of the new slang. So at school in Italian, we focus a lot on worksheets and written exercises and a lot of grammar, like I said. So I never really listened to the language, and watching TV shows and understanding the flow and how they speak is very important and could really differentiate someone that is a complete beginner to someone that is a native or is fluent in that language, which I love. So I'm going to be watching the new season of Summertime. I love the show. Not a lot of people like it, but I really do recommend it because it's so easy to understand. Now, since I do have a very good level in Italian, I am going to be watching the show in Italian with Italian subtitles. But if you are a beginner or an intermediate, then I recommend putting subtitles in your native language. So that will most likely be English. Now, if you are a complete beginner, I recommend watching a show, like not a show that you've never seen before, because I've never seen the new season, so it's going to be new, but watch something that you've seen before and that you love and you kind of really understand the show. For example, if I was a complete beginner, then I would watch Friends in Italian. That way I don't really have to focus so much on understanding the story because I know what's going to be happening. And that way I also know what the vocabulary and what the words mean because I know what they're referring to. Hey guys, what's up? So right now I'm going to be painting my nails, and in the meantime, I'll be watching Summertime. Let me know down below if you have any other suggestions for Netflix shows for Italian learners. Okay, so I finished, my nails are done, and my Italian is done as well. Like I said before, what I love about the show is that I'm able to practice on my comprehension and learn vocabulary at the same time. So relating to TV shows, the next thing I'll be doing is watching a lot more Italian YouTubers and Italian vlogs. So like we know, vlogs is pretty much just following along the life of this YouTuber, which is perfect because you learn vocabulary relating to everyday life and you're coming along in their everyday situations, which you'll most likely be experiencing during this trip. So leave down below if you have any recommendations of YouTubers, but I will include a list right here of some potential YouTubers and vloggers that you guys could follow to practice and learn Italian. So for the third exercise, you're going to have to use your imagination because we're going to be pretending we are in certain situations that we are going to find ourselves in our trip to Italy. So you have to kind of tailor this depending on what you're planning to do. So for example, I'm going to be going to Italy for 3 weeks, and I'm going to be visiting a lot of cities, major cities, and some beach cities. So I'm gonna have to tailor those situations for those activities. So I'm most likely going to find myself, going to restaurants, having to buy something, talking to locals, going to hotel, maybe asking for directions, talking about beach related stuff. So what you're going to do, this is more if you have an intermediate level, is that you're going to talk to yourself and imagine someone is talking back to you. So yes, you're going to have a conversation with this imaginary person in this imaginary situation. If you are a complete beginner, then just go from the beginning and just imagine the situations that you're going to be in, and then go to Google or go to YouTube and Google what phrases or vocabulary you should know for each of those situations, and then just start reviewing them. Might be a little bit awkward, but it's very helpful. Okay, so now it's time for the exercise. All you really need is just paper and a pen. then a dictionary, Google works perfectly, and then just your imagination. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be imagining like you're having a conversation with someone. Whenever you find a word they don't know, you're going to be writing it in your native language, and then you're going to be translating it to Italian. Okay, so exercise number 4 is to integrate and to include Italian into your hobbies. So it can be sometimes very unmotivating and kind of hard to just sit down and study a language, even if you're thinking about your trip, which is why you should start and integrate and include Italian into your favorite things and into a lot of everyday situations. For example, I love to read. Reading is one of my major hobbies. So I'm going to be reading some books in Italian. If you also like to read and you're a beginner, then find books that are for beginners in Italian. You can find so many. If you're an intermediate, then I recommend reading a book that you've already read before, kind of like the show thing. Since you already know what's going to be happening, you can only focus on new vocabulary that you don't know. And if you are advanced, then just read any book, pick up any book, even if you've never read it before, and start reading in Italian. But it doesn't only have to be for reading. If you have any other hobbies, then also think of ways, be creative, and think of ways that you could include Italian into it. The next 2 things I will be doing are kind of more specific to me and kind of what I have access to. So the first thing I'll be doing is talking a lot more with my teacher. So I'm going to ask her if we could have more conversations because we do focus, like I said, a lot more on writing and worksheets. So I'm going to see if I could talk to her a lot more so I could start feeling a lot more comfortable and see if she could kind of help me out and see what my weaknesses are or maybe what I don't really know that much. That way I could focus on that. And the second thing I'll be doing is I'm going to be going to Italian restaurants. So luckily I do live in a very international city, Miami. So when you go to a restaurant or a place or a store that is for a specific type of, culture or country or cuisine, you're most likely going to find people from that country working there. I mean, if I was Italian and I had to choose between working in an American restaurant or an Italian restaurant, I would most likely work in my own country's restaurant. So usually when I go to Italian restaurants, the waiter or the manager are Italian, so I'm gonna start practicing with them and pretend like I'm in Italy ordering food. Okay, so I have a tip. If you are a complete beginner or you know nothing about Italian culture, then I recommend on learning the different customs or traditions and habits or ways of being respectful, because it's very different. A lot of different, countries or cultures have different ways of doing certain things, and it's good as a tourist or as a traveler to know how they do it in the place that you're visiting. That way you don't seem disrespectful, or that way it isn't a shock. So for example, tips in Europe is very different to giving tips at a restaurant in the United States. Also tax, for example, in Europe, it's already included. In the United States, you have to pay it separately, like it's after, once you're paying, that's when you see the tax. You also have to know how to address someone formally. Like if it's someone that you respect, someone that you don't know, how are you going to address them? So it's very different in France than in Italy. So in France, in French, if it's informal, you call them tu. If it's formal, you call them vous. In Italy, you call them tu, and for formal, you call them lei. So you're calling them she in Italy, which is something that is very different and not common in other cultures or languages. So I recommend you guys to kind of understand those type of things. Luckily for me, I already know them because my Italian teacher really focused on that this school year, so I'm all good. So guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe, that way you get notified whenever I post new language videos. And stay tuned because once I'm in Italy, I'm going to be posting some vlogs, and those vlogs are going to be in Italian. That way you guys could see how my Italian journey is going, and that way you guys could practice your Italian. I hope you guys have a lot of fun in your trip to Italy, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!